Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our weekly wrestling media Zoom with head coach Cael Sanderson. Thanks for joining us as we get ready to head to the state of Michigan for two duels Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern on the Big Ten Network against the Wolverines. And then on Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern, we're at Michigan State, and that's a BTN Plus stream. Got Cael with us now. We'll have Aaron Brooks with us here shortly, and we'll go ahead and get started with questions. Jim Carlson, get us started with questions for Cael.
Morning, Cael.
Morning.
Sort of a long two-part question here. Taking into consideration the pandemic, the flu, the transfer portal, have you ever had to work so hard to build a lineup the way you wanted? And do you think this Michigan match will be the perfect test to see if that lineup is on its way to being the one you want to use in a postseason?
Well, everyone knows Michigan's one of the very best teams in the country. That's no secret. But I feel like every weekend's a test. The test is just, are we making progress as we move along, and are the individuals making progress? You have different challenges. I think we've seen this year in every week, they pose different challenges, just different kids are having to step up. And, like you were saying, Jim, you have guys that are out with COVID, and then you have guys that are out with the flu. And then, there's just a lot of challenges. And so I feel like, it's the same for everybody, but you're competing in circumstances that you just need whoever's in your lineup's best effort. And I think we've seen our guys step up and compete well. But yeah, this is, obviously a really, really a good team, and, just a very well coached team. And, they got 2 Olympians in their lineup. Might be a record, I think. I don't know, but it's kind of neat. But a lot of just really high level, tough kids. So yeah, we're excited about the opportunity to compete and see where we're at.
Greg Pickle.
Morning, Coach. Thanks for your time.
Yeah.
What is 2 matches on the road, when you talk about the challenges and things like that? What kind of unique challenges does that present for you guys, whether it's related to travel or what have you, as you get ready to hit the road here?
Yeah, it's hard to say. I think there's challenges in everything that you do. It's just kind of to be yourself regardless of the circumstances, right? Whether you're at home and you have the comforts of being at home, or if you're on the road. I think when you have a team and you have a fairly young team, the more time you spend together on the road, the more they kind of come together. And so I'm excited about that. I think these next couple weekends will be great for our team, just in team bonding. Obviously very competitive teams that we're going to be battling, but that's why we do this, and that's why you put the time and the effort in, is to for the big matches and the tough opponents. So we're excited about it, and just like every other year, we're just trying to get better as the weeks move along here, so we can be ready to compete in March.
Andy Elder.
Yeah, with the number of highly ranked guys that are going to be on the mat this weekend, I think 19 out of the 20 wrestlers will be ranked. Are you able to sit back and enjoy the high level of competition? Or are you so involved from a strategy standpoint that it's kind of lost on you a little bit?
Yeah, I enjoy watching also. I think obviously it's more about competing and just trying to do our best to make sure that each of our individuals are ready to do what they need to do, and that they're prepared for their match, so they can they can feel confident going into the matches, and also have a long-term kind of plan system where they can continue to improve and know that they're getting better every week. Obviously we want to win every match, and we hate losing, but it's at this point we're just trying to keep getting better.
Ben Surface.
Cael, kind of going off the whole strategy thing, being that this is one of your biggest duels of the season, is there any extra preparation that goes into a match like this?
Well, I think, you're preparing for the big matches year round. It's not, hey, we got a great duel coming up in 3 days, and, we're really going to shift gears now. I think for us, it's just trying to get our guys to keep getting better. And then, I'm sure, we have been, and I'm sure the individuals in our lineup have you know, they know that the top guys in their weight class, and so they're preparing for them year round, you know. So at this point, it's just, you know, we'll do a few things here and there, but it's just a matter of kind of getting out there and competing and really seeing where we're at, so we know what kind of adjustments we can make as we head into the postseason.
Nate Cobbler.
Hey, Cael, can you, I know this is probably something we usually ask you sometimes, but can you kind of go through the itinerary, I guess you could say, like, when are you guys planning on heading out to Michigan? Any idea of like who's going with you guys? I know you said you were allowed to take like 15 guys since it's a road goal and stuff like that. So can you fill us in on that a little bit?
Yeah, well, you know, generally we leave, you know, about midday, the day before. So, you know, we'll leave Thursday and get there in time to, you know, go work out in their facility. Nothing exciting. And then after we wrestle Michigan, we'll head over to Michigan State and just get ready to compete there. And then I think we head back Monday. You know, we're bussing obviously, so we'd like to let our guys get a good night's sleep, especially this time of the year, and when we're trying to turn around and prepare for another road trip just a few days later. But yeah, it's you know, we'll be taking the same guys that you've seen compete for the team this year. I don't think would be any surprises or anything along those lines. You know, I mean, we're still just a, you know, small group of guys that we were taking, and we have a few guys that have really been willing to step in there and compete and be ready to go. A guy like Brandon Meredith, who you know, has been wrestling up a weight against some tough guys, you know, guys like that. Just making sure you have all your weights covered in case something were to happen, or, you know, you just be as prepared as possible. But you know, it's pretty much just the same guys that have been competing that will be traveling with us.
Jim Carlson.
Cael, you know, quite a few good individual bouts the other day against Rutgers. Obviously, a lot coming Friday, the next following Friday, following weekends, you know, blah, blah, blah. You know, is that just another reason why you're such a dual meet proponent when you look at it like that?
Another reason why
you're such a proponent of dual meets and want to keep the format the way it is?
Well, yeah, I mean, these are fun matches, and you know, these big dual meets draw a lot of interest and huge crowds as we've seen. And yeah, I think they're just a lot of fun. You know, so I guess I don't really understand the question, I guess, but yeah, we're just, you know, we love these big matches and being able to compete as a team. And, you know, you go compete at somebody else's arena in front of their crowd. I mean, that's a different challenge, and not saying it's any more difficult or easier than competing in front of our own crowd, right? We have a BJC match coming up here, I think, with Ohio State, which will be exciting. But yeah, I mean, if you're playing a sport, you want there to be you know, a following and a lot of support, and you know, we're seeing that. So that's something that we want to just keep building that. And I think just, you know, having these competitive dual meets and you know, the interest in, you know, the team races, the conference and the national tournament, you know, wrestling is going to continue to grow with popularity and in their popularity. And that's got to be a goal of every coach in the sport. I think, you know, we've seen a lot of success there, you know, at least the last 10 years.
Zach Allen.
Hey, Cael, going along or talking about Aaron Brooks, he's had 5 ranked wins in like the last 6 matches. What's his impact on the team?
Well, I think, I mean, in addition to him just being, you know, a great wrestler, he's very consistent and he's calm, regardless of where we're at or the circumstances. He's the same person. I think that's really a valuable leadership quality, and something that he's just, you know, off the charts in that category. And even when I go back to I think the first match he wrestled for Penn State, when we pulled his red shirt, we were wrestling at Lehigh, and he had a tough opponent. He was the same kid, you know, he just smiling and just calm and just ready to go compete. So has a great perspective, has the, you know, physical ability and mental capacity to be the same person regardless of the circumstances. I think that's one of the things that really make him special.
KJ Andrews.
Hey, Cael. So I know you have a ton of familiarity with Kevin Jackson, assistant coach at Michigan. You know, how interesting is it for you just to, have that history with him and then be able to, coach against him at, two rival schools, especially at this level?
Yeah, I think it's probably similar in all sports. It's kind of a small network, and you compete against people that are that you care a lot about. I mean, Coach Jackson was one of my coaches. He was one of my Olympic coaches, and I love the guy. He was and we compete against his guys in freestyle, and but that doesn't change really your relationship with him. But I think that's just probably typical of any sport, right? You see that in football and basketball, where coaches are working together and then they're coaching against each other. And yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty neat. I thought that was a great hire on Michigan's part, and really happy for Coach Jackson. Just a great guy. He's been a mentor, for me, and obviously was, like I said, one of my coaches, helped me, prepare for the Olympics and back in the day. And so, I'll always be grateful for him for that.
Tanyon Loose.
Yeah, Cael, just considering that this is one of your biggest matches coming up, are you a guy that kind of gives like a pep talk to your wrestlers beforehand, try to motivate them, or is that kind of up to them to get themselves kind of in the game?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's at this level, I think if you're relying on pep talks, you're probably in trouble. That's generally something that's kind of short-lived. I think it's just more of the consistency perspective that you work on and work towards year round. But obviously you're talking to individuals, you're talking to the team, just trying to more than anything just prepare them to compete and just be themselves. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's kind of if somebody needs a pep talk to go out there and to go win the nationals or something, that's going to be tough. I mean, there's times when there's adversity and challenges that, you got to, just help them see things a little differently. But for the most part, we just want to, be consistent and just have fun doing what we do, and at this point, they should be pretty clear on what they want to accomplish and what their goals are.
Ben Surface.
Cael, I know you got a number of competitive guys on your roster, but is it ever tough to kind of remind them that, if a dual meet doesn't go their way, that there's a bigger goal at the end of this in terms of the postseason?
Yeah, I think so. I think, a great example would be Bo Bartlett this last weekend. He was, I think he was disappointed in that he didn't win that match and had a lot of opportunities to win the match. But, I think that loss in particular will be a huge blessing to him as he approaches the rest of the season. So, yeah, we're not afraid to lose. I think if you're afraid to lose, you're probably never going to really win, the big stuff. So, but obviously you have to hate losing. You have to be competitive and do whatever it takes legally, of course, to be successful. But yeah, I think probably anybody in their life would go back and could kind of look at losses and failures they've had and point to them as maybe their biggest, most important things that ever happened to them. And so it's the same thing here. We don't get too worked up over wins or losses. It's all just all preparation.
And last one for Cael, Greg Pickle.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks for your time this morning, Coach. Really appreciate it. Just when you were able to go back and either watch the film or get some feedback from Bergie, how did he come through the weekend? What did you like about where he's at right now? Obviously, with him getting out there on the mat and only being here a short period of time before doing so.
Yeah, I think he hit some really nice shots, was close to finishing maybe 3 shots early before he scored. But yeah, he hasn't competed in almost a year, as you know, and he's wrestling a weight higher than he was. But I think he just needed to get out on the mat and just let it go. I mean, it's mid-January now, and we're 2 months, we'll be at the national tournament. So I think for him, it was just a matter of getting him out there and getting him started. But he's as we've seen over the years, and we know he's a great wrestler, great technique, and hopefully, I mean, he can approach things just with a really healthy perspective, knowing that, he stepped away from wrestling for a little while and jumped into coaching and saw that, life goes on, regardless of whether you're an NCAA champion or not, I mean, and so it can kind of free you up to just, let it rip a little bit. But he's a great kid, and, win or lose, we're just super happy to have him back in the program. Just an all around awesome person. So, but yeah, I think he just needs to compete and just, every match I would expect him to just feel a little bit more comfortable when he's out there. But he looked fine. His conditioning looked fine. Did well.
All right. Well, Cael, thank you very much.
Cool.
Appreciate your time this morning. We'll go ahead and talk to you later. We'll bring Aaron Brooks.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
AB, how are you, man? Thank you.
It's good, Pat. Yep.
All right. So we got a bunch of folks on here. Folks, get the hands raised and we'll let her rip questions for Aaron. Ben Surface, get us started.
Aaron, you obviously got a really big match coming up this week. Is your preparation the same, or how do you feel going into that match?
Yeah, preparation, just keep it the same. This part of the season, you don't want to mix too much stuff up. So keeping things simple. I've been kind of going about things, recovery, addressing those techniques I need to focus on, different opponents each week. So going in with a different mindset on the tactics I want to work on. So, but mainly the same things.
Zach Allen.
Aaron, you've had 5 ranked wins in like the last 6 bouts, and you have one coming up against Michigan again. What's your mindset going into these things?
Yeah, this is like we say, like this is like the gauntlet part of the season. So it's fun just getting to wrestle these guys. I've had like really good opponents these last couple of weeks. So heading into Michigan as well. It's the same thing. Like I said, same mindset, same outlook. But my overall outlook is just these guys are my weight class. I got to wrestle them, and then the Big Ten. I got to wrestle them. Big Ten dual season, Big Ten championships, and NCAAs. So definitely not just thinking about now. I know I got to see these guys multiple times. So just kind of wanting to put that mindset out there of hopefully they don't want to wrestle me again, just from wrestling hard and wrestling at a high pace. So just try to make it not really fun for them.
Nate.
Aaron, if I'm not mistaken, I think you said you were over in Tokyo wrestling. So as far as getting people prepped and stuff. So do you feel that, that experience may help you with going up against the mean here on Friday?
Tremendously. He's Olympic bronze medalist. And this summer I was blessed enough to be in Tokyo as a training partner and, see that kind of level of wrestling and wrestle with the Olympic champ in that weight class. So I think that's a huge advantage, being able to wrestle with David this summer and in Tokyo, they were in the same bracket. They wrestled, I think, second round. So definitely gives a little bit of an edge.
Andy Elder.
Aaron, with a dual meet that has so many good matchups, how do you balance being a teammate and watching your teammates compete and not having it get in the way of your preparation for your individual bout?
Just making sure everyone's good energy, I think. And, knowing that I can't exert too much of my energy, on the bench. So just kind of reminding myself of that. I got to experience that a lot last year when I would watch Carter go wrestle before, Nick Lee and his guys, and at the NCAA tournament. So just remembering to, focus on my job. And if I focus on my job and, then that's the best I can do, so support the guys, but get my job done. And I think we all kind of think the same ways, just focus on your match, focus on supporting your teammates, but the best thing you can do is make sure you're ready and prepped.
Jim Carlson.
Hey, Aaron, after all the illness and injuries and things like that, transfer portal, do you think now this team is about is getting to be as solid and talented as it can be as you approach March?
I believe we had a super talented team before, and I think even now we're like I said, we're hitting our strides. Guys are starting to peak and not really peak at its highest yet. We say that for March, but I think our team is hitting its strides now. I think this is a good time for us. These Big Ten duels, we've been getting a lot of good matchups. So I think the team is coming together, not just wrestling wise, but chemistry, bonds, and those kind of things, which I think is what really makes a championship team. So,
Greg Pickle.
Aaron, from the guy who made his first trip to obviously all you've accomplished now, can you walk us through maybe what you realized about how challenging these road trips are, or what you have to do to be your best self 2 matches on the road in the weekend compared to maybe what you have access to or what have you when you're at home?
Yeah, that's a great question. Wrestling on the road, you're obviously not at home. Different wrestling room, different stores around you, the things you usually eat. So just resources wise, but just making it, like I said, keeping things as usual and casual as I always do. So just trying to make sure things stay the same. Whether it's diet, our coaches do a great job at that. Making sure we're going to the same place to get the same meals. But it is challenging, especially when you go from a Friday to a Sunday match. Having to get your weight down on the road again, and then you're traveling. See, we might be wrestling somewhere, like we wrestled in Maryland Friday night, and then we traveled back here Sunday for the Indiana match, which is like you want to lose the weight, but then again that day's spent traveling. So it is challenging sometimes, but it's worth it.
Ben Surface.
Hey, Aaron. So Carter Sirachi in his post game is saying he was extremely confident, going up against Michigan. Do you share that same level of confidence, or what's your mindset going in there?
Absolutely, yeah. Like I said, I have full faith in my team. I see the work that these guys put in every day. So that's the fun part, is going on and competing. The hard part is practice and getting through the grindy week. But when you get to competition time, I always have faith in my guys. Just like I said, we do this day in and day out. I see the preparation we all put in, and I have faith in our team.
Tanyon Loose.
Yeah, Aaron, Cael was just kind of talking about your consistency out on the mat. So I was wondering kind of what is going through your head and kind of those moments before you're about to step out there and compete from a mental standpoint.
So I started this last year, but I just really that just repeats in my head. God gives me everything, and too fast, too strong. That's something that Coach KJ taught me, was too fast, too strong. So I know we get to see him this weekend, but just those things, I just remind myself that. And then when I'm wrestling, I continue to just repeat those things. And sometimes it differs. I might just say, stay on them, keep the pace high, but really just good self-talk.
Zach Allen.
Hey, Aaron, I talked to Carter Sirachi after the Rutgers match, and he said he uses his walkout song to kind of strike fear in his opponents. I couldn't hear yours specifically over the applause, but do you have one, like specifically? Do you use it to,
Yeah. So mine's he passed away. His name's Nipsey Hussle, but it's called Hustle and Motivate. So it's just like, all right, hustle and motivate. So I try to just, like I said, be a light when I'm wrestling. So hustle hard and motivate people. So when I hear it, it's like, all right, hustle, motivate.
Nate Cobbler.
Aaron, you touched on it a little bit there. Can you describe your relationship with Coach Jackson and, just how much of an influence he's had on your career so far to this point, and, your experiences with him out in the training center?
Yeah, I'm always like super grateful for Coach KJ. That year at the OTC was really big for me, a really good year for me. Getting away from home before college, I was all the way across the country from where I'm from, and just getting to train with the Olympic team and the world team guys all the time, and just having Coach KJ as a mentor, I think was the main thing, is something that really helped me a lot in my career. And to this day, we would still catch up and stuff. I see him at tournaments, we talk and all that kind of stuff. So it's all love, it'll be the same when I see him.
Jim Carlson.
Aaron, I know Amin was with another country and training in Tokyo, but I was just wondering if you were ever around him over there at all, and if you know him.
No, I wasn't. So COVID was really strict, so they kept guys it was good distance and stuff. But I've seen him a couple of times. We said what's up last year, I think, at the NCAA tournament and stuff. So not really. I don't really know much about him, but I'm sure he's a great guy.
And last one for Aaron here, KJ Andrews. Go ahead.
Aaron, just following up on the Nipsey Hussle, walkout song. So what is your favorite album from Nipsey Hussle? Like, did you like some of his later stuff, or did you kind of fall into it early?
So no, like that's the thing. It was after he passed. Like, so my teammate, he's from Tony Negron. He came in this year. So we took a road trip up to Long Island, where he's from, this summer. And I knew like a couple of Nipsey songs, like Double Up, these kind of things, but he put me onto that whole album. And that's probably my favorite one. I think it's I forget, The Marathon Continues. Yeah, so that's the one. But there's a lot of good songs on there. I think it's like I call it boss music. You know, you don't get to hear that too much because a lot of the music now is just rapping about the wrong stuff. But he raps about like motivating people, and so I respect him a lot.
All right. Well, Aaron, thank you very much. That's all we got time for today. Appreciate your time today, Aaron.
No, thank you guys. You have a blessed one.
All right. Take
Thank
care.
you.
Bye, everybody.